You believe you have time. That is the first illusion you must release if you truly wish to save $50,000 before you reach the age of 35. Time does not stretch itself politely to accommodate your dreams. It shrinks to match your habits. And if your habits revolve around comfort, distraction, and waiting for the right moment, then your years will dissolve into regrets far faster than you expect. I speak to you not as a critic but as someone who has watched generations underestimate the speed at which their youth evaporates. You think you are early. You think 5 is distant. Yet in the quiet blink between your birthdays, it will arrive. The question is not how much time you have. It's how you are using the time that is slipping. Saving $50,000 before birth 35 is not merely a financial goal. It is a psychological transformation. It is a declaration that you choose ownership of your future rather than renting your identity from society's expectations. Most people do not fail because they lack income. They fail because they lack intention. Money flows through their hands like water because they never learned to cup their palms. They treat money as something to spend, not something to hold, respect, or command. If you continue behaving like everyone else, chasing experiences you cannot afford, buying status you have not yet earned, numbing discomfort with purchases, you will not only stay broke, you will build the habits that ensure you remain broke even if money visits your life temporarily. You must understand that wealth is rarely exciting in the beginning. In the early stages, it is boring, repetitive, disciplined, even lonely. There is no applause for the nights you stay in to avoid spending. There is no audience praising your restraint, your planning, your sacrifices. Nobody sees the wealth being built because true wealth builds in silence. Only debt announces itself loudly. So if you seek validation during this journey, you have already chosen the wrong path. $50,000 represents more than a number. It is proof that you can master yourself. It symbolizes the version of you who wins against the impulses that own most people. Before 35, once the world tempts you aggressively, your friends will travel, buy the latest gadgets, chase nightlife, show off their fleeting lifestyles online. They will appear happy. But appearances are a currency of the insecure. You must look beyond the highlight reels of others and measure your life with a deeper lens. If you cannot detach from the crowd, you will share their fate. The truth is simple. You are not saving for the money. You are saving for the freedom that money gives you. Freedom from panic when emergencies strike. Freedom from staying in a job that suffocates you because you cannot afford to leave. Freedom from relationships rooted in financial dependency. Freedom from aging into regret. Saving 50,000 is a seed. If planted, protected, and grown, it becomes options. And options are the true currency of adulthood. You need to see money as a silent partner in your growth. Money is not emotional. It reflects your level of consciousness. When you treat it with purpose, it multiplies. When you treat it as entertainment, it disappears. Saving is not hoarding, it is preparation. It is building the foundation that allows you to take bold steps later in life. Some call it sacrifice. The wise call it strategy. You may ask, why 50,000? Why not a smaller goal that feels easier, more comfortable, less intimidating? Because humans rise to the size of their standards, not the size of their dreams. A small goal breeds small behavior. A larger goal forces evolution. 50,000 forces perspective. It forces you to become someone who thinks beyond survival. If you commit to this goal, you will outgrow people, habits, and environments that drain you. Growth demands discomfort, and discomfort is a currency far more valuable than money in your 20s and early 30s. Look at your life right now. Do you move with intention, or do you drift? Most people drift. Once they wake up reacting to life instead of designing it. They spend without thinking, work without building, hope without planning. They delay discipline because discipline feels restrictive. But what is the alternative? A life where your future is hostage to your past decisions. A life where you reach 40 still learning lessons you should have learned at 25. Saving 50,000 before 30. 5 doesn't just protect your future. It forces you to mature earlier than most. It helps you escape the fate of waking up one day and realizing you built nothing. The world is designed to keep you financially average. It encourages consumption, not accumulation. It normalizes debt, glorifies impulse, and promotes lifestyles that drain wealth faster than it is earned. You are surrounded by traps disguised as pleasures. If you do not consciously design your financial behavior, society will design it for you, and society's version ends with you working endlessly, aging anxiously, and never feeling secure. You may believe you deserve luxury now because you survived hardships, and because you work hard, because life hasn't been fair. But this mindset is how people destroy their future to soothe the wounds of their past. You must learn to separate emotional spending from strategic spending. Replace the phrase, "I've earned this," with, "Does this choice bring me closer to the life I want?" If the answer is no, what is luxury? Freedom. And freedom is built, not bought. Saving requires courage. The courage to say no when others say yes. The courage to choose long-term reward over short-term pleasure. The courage to protect a future self you cannot yet see. The courage to think independently in a world that punishes originality. If you follow the crowd, you will become the crowd. And the crowd is financially fragile, anxious, overworked, and underfulfilled. Do not join them. Observe them. Learn from them. Then walk a different path. This journey will expose you. It will reveal your weaknesses and your strengths. You will notice how often you use spending to escape boredom, loneliness, insecurity, and ego. You will notice how uncomfortable silence is when you are not distracting yourself with consumption. You will face the truth that you rely on money not for utility, but for emotion. Many people do. but only a few confront it. To save 55,000, you must build a relationship with money rooted in respect, not fear, not shame, not obsession. Money is neutral. It is a tool, a mirror, an amplifier. Once we are the hands of the undisciplined, it becomes poison. In the hands of the intentional, it becomes power. Learn to hold money without needing to spend it to feel significant. Your 20s are not a playground. They are the training ground. They are where discipline either forms or dies. The habits you practice now will shape your next decade. Every dollar you save is not just saved money. It is saved time in the future. It is a month you can one day take off to breathe. A risk you can afford to take. A door you can open without begging for permission. When you save, you are not reducing your life. You are expanding your future choices. $50,000 may not make you rich, but the mindset required to accumulate it will separate you from 90% of people your age. And once you can save 50, you can save 100. And once you can save 100, you can invest. And once you can invest, you can buy back your time. The first 50 is not about wealth. It is about identity. It turns you from a participant in the economy into a strategist. It shifts your mind from, I hope things get better, to I can create better. The world will try to distract you from this path. It will whisper illusions into your ear. You're young. Little money isn't everything. You only live once. These phrases are not wisdom. They are excuses spoken by those who fear responsibility. Living a little should not cost you your future. Money may not be everything, but financial stress can destroy your mental peace, relationships, dreams, and yes, you only live once, which is precisely why you must live it with intention, not recklessness. Your journey will be quieter than you expect. People will not celebrate you for saving. They will not understand your choices. They will mock your simple lifestyle and call you cheap, boring, overly serious. They will project their insecurities onto you. But one day, when they panic about their finances and you do not, they will remember the choices you made. And they will wonder why they didn't do the same. You must learn to detach your identity from the validation of others. Saving requires that you build an internal world so strong that external noise cannot influence you. You do not need to prove your worth through visible consumption. Your worth is proven through self-control. You earn respect not by how much you spend, but by how much you can delay gratification for something greater. You are not in a race with your peers. You are in a battle with your lesser self. There will be moments when you question this path. Moments where you ask, "It worth it?" Let me answer that for you. Now, yes. Because what is the alternative? A life where you are financially fragile, where one unexpected expense can break you, where you trade your dreams for a paycheck because you cannot afford to pursue them. The price of discipline is temporary. The price of regret is permanent. If you save 50,000 before 30, 5, you will feel a shift within you. You will walk differently, think differently, decide differently. You will become more selective about the people you allow into your life. You will recognize who supports your growth and who threatens it. Money will reveal truths about your relationships. Some people will resent your discipline because it exposes their lack of it. Let them. Their discomfort is not your burden. As you save, remember that money is not to be worshipped. Do not become rigid, obsessive, or miserly. Save with intention, not fear. Understand why you are doing this. The goal is to build a foundation strong enough to support a life aligned with your values. The goal is not accumulation, it is liberation. You are saving to live better, not to deprive yourself forever. You are choosing temporary imbalance to create long-term harmony. There will come a moment after months or years of consistent discipline when something inside you shifts. You will no longer see saving as sacrifice. You will see it as self-respect. You will no longer crave validation through spending. You will find strength in self-restraint. Your relationship with money will mature. You will no longer chase wealth to escape shame or prove worth. You will pursue it to expand your life, not to decorate it. And when you reach that $50,000 milestone, something subtle yet profound will happen. You will feel a calmness that most people never experience. The world's noise will soften. Decisions will feel lighter. You will no longer be chained to survival mode. You will be building. You will be becoming. We will realize that the true reward was never the money. It was the person you had to become to earn it. Many people spend their entire lives avoiding the discomfort that leads to growth. They choose ease today and pay with suffering tomorrow. You are choosing a different path. You are making a decision that most avoid until it is too late. You are choosing responsibility while you are still young enough to benefit from it. And that choice will compound. Saving 50,000 is not the end. It is the beginning of a life where you are no longer controlled by impulses, circumstances, or financial fear. It is the beginning of strategic living, the beginning of a mindset that sees beyond the present moment and considers the future self as someone worth protecting. Once you reach this milestone, you will realize you are capable of far more. You will raise your standards. You will set new goals. You will outgrow old limits. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is far more trustworthy. Discipline will carry you through the days when excitement fades. Discipline will help you make choices your future self will thank you for. Discipline is the truest form of self-love because it prioritizes long-term well-being over short-term comfort. Each time you save money, you are telling your future self, I will not abandon you. I am preparing for you. Think of that version of you, 35 years old, looking back at today. What would they beg you to do? Because that version of you already exists in possibility. They are waiting for you to build the bridge through choice. And if you neglect that future, you will meet a version of yourself you won't be proud of. Older, tired, and disappointed that you traded your best years for nothing of substance. This journey is not about perfection. You will make mistakes. You will slip at times. Do not quit. The only true failure is surrender. As long as you return to the path, you are evolving. Progress is not linear. Growth is not glamorous, but each step is forming a new identity within you. A stronger one, a wiser one, a freer one. One day, you will sit in silence, maybe in a home you own, maybe in a place you love, maybe with someone who values you, and you will look back at the version of yourself who chose discipline in a world of distraction. And you will feel gratitude. Gratitude for your courage. Gratitude for your foresight. Gratitude that you refuse to remain ordinary. Saving 50,000 before 35 or staying broke forever is not a threat. It is a philosophy that separates those who live intentionally from those who drift, those who build from those who consume, those who master their life from those who surrender it. Your future is not built in the future. It is built now. In every choice you make when nobody is watching, in every impulse you conquer. In every dollar you choose to save, in every quiet night where you choose growth over distraction, you have two paths ahead of you. One is convenient today and costly tomorrow. The other is challenging today and liberating tomorrow. You already know which one leads to the life you want. Choose the path that your future self will stand on with pride. You have understood the value of saving, the discipline of building the first foundation. Now, you must learn to transform that foundation into growth. Saving protects you. Investing expands you. Saving builds stability. Investing builds possibility. Saving prevents decline. Investing creates ascent. The transition from saving to investing is the moment you stop working only for money and begin allowing money to work for you. But investing is not merely a financial decision. It is a psychological evolution. Before you invest a single dollar, you must invest in the architecture of your mind. A poor mindset will sabotage any wealth placed in its hands. Money is a magnifier. It exposes your internal world. If you are impulsive, money will magnify your impulses. If you are fearful, money will make your fears louder. If you are careless, money will accelerate your losses. This is why so many people, even after earning well, remain fragile. They never upgraded the thinker, only the income. To invest wisely, you must first become the kind of person who can hold wealth without breaking under its weight. Most people think investing begins with learning the market's strategies or assets. But real investing begins with learning yourself. It requires knowing what drives you, what scares you, what you believe about wealth, and where those beliefs came from. You cannot master money until you master the stories money awakened in you. Reflect on the narrative you inherited about wealth. Did you grow up hearing that money is scarce, that rich people are greedy, that wealth is selfish, that wanting more is wrong. Many carry these subconscious scripts into adulthood. Unaware, they are sabotaging their financial growth, not with action, but with identity. You cannot attract or keep what you secretly judge or resent. If you believe wealth corrupts, you will subconsciously avoid it. If you believe you are not good with money, you will fulfill that prophecy. If you fear losing money, and you will cling to it until inflation eats what fear protected. To invest is to trust the future. It is to believe that tomorrow holds outcomes worth preparing for. Investing is an act of optimism, but grounded in wisdom, not fantasy. You must become a person with a long horizon in a world addicted to the present moment. Most people think in days and weeks. Investors think in years and decades. Most people chase returns. Investors build systems. Most people react. Investors anticipate. The purpose of investing is not merely to grow capital. It is to free your time, expand your choices, and elevate your experience of life. When your investments begin to produce returns, time bends in your favor. You are no longer trading 1 hour of life for one payment. Your money becomes your silent employee, working while you sleep, rest, travel, or think. The earlier you begin investing, the more years your silent employees have to compound. Compounding is the closest thing to magic that exists in finance. It rewards patience, discipline, and time, qualities very few cultivate. But before you choose where to invest, you must learn why people fail at investing. Not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack temperament. Knowledge is everywhere. Discipline is rare. You must cultivate the mindset of an investor, calm in uncertainty. Once we rational in chaos, patient in growth, detached from noise. Emotional investing is costly. If you cannot watch your investments fluctuate without panic, you are still owned by money. Learn to separate the market from your emotions. The market is not a judge of your worth. It does not care about your feelings, your hopes, or your fears. It is simply a reflection of collective psychology, even driven by greed and fear, opportunity and doubt. You must learn to observe it without being consumed by it. Those who react emotionally to the market donate their wealth to those who think clearly. Your first goal is not to become rich through investing. Your first goal is to become competent. Wealth is the byproduct of competence repeatedly executed. You must learn the language of money. Not the jargon, but the principles. You must understand the difference between assets and liabilities, between speculation and investment, between price and value. You must understand that cheap does not mean good, and expensive does not mean bad. You must understand that risk exists not only in action, but also in inaction. The person who never invests also takes the risk of the money dying slowly in the hands of inflation. Do not rush into complex investments to appear sophisticated. It is better to deeply understand a simple strategy than to follow a complicated strategy you barely grasp. Your wealth should be built on clarity, not confusion. Begin with what you understand. Expand slowly and evolve steadily. Invest in a race. It is a relationship with time. As you begin, educate yourself not to impress others, but to protect yourself. The world of investing can be beautiful and abundant, but it is also filled with illusions, traps, and noise. Many investments shine brightly at first glance, only to reveal their emptiness once the excitement fades. Many chase trends and lose. Few build frameworks and win. Once do not invest because others are investing. Invest because you have a thesis grounded in reason. Your conviction must be deeper than the crowd's enthusiasm. The investor's mind is trained to ask, what value does this create? What problem does it solve? How does it grow? Why will it matter tomorrow? These questions separate intelligence from impulse. Before you invest outward, the first asset you must develop is your mind. Read, learn, observe, think. Understanding wealth creation will give you far greater returns than any stock, property, or business. A wise mind can rebuild wealth if lost. An ignorant mind can lose wealth even when handed to them. Invest in skills because skills increase your earning power. Invest in knowledge because knowledge protects your wealth. Invest in character because character determines how handle prosperity and adversity. Invest in your network because opportunities rarely without people. But above all, invest in your ability to think independently because independent thinking is the shield against manipulation, fear, and herd behavior. Your transformation into an investor requires that you evolve beyond the short-term craving for results. Wealth is grown, not grabbed. It is nurtured, not snatched. It is shaped, not stumbled upon. Learn to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. Most quit because results are not immediate. They dig up the seed to check if it is growing. Leave the seed alone and water it. There is a season for planting, a season for waiting, and a season for harvesting. Resist the urge to harvest prematurely. As you grow financially, you must also grow emotionally. Money without emotional maturity becomes a source of chaos. Emotional maturity gives you the strength to remain grounded when wealth arrives and the wisdom to remain hopeful when the journey tests you. Emotional maturity teaches you that your net worth is not your self-worth. Your identity must not be tied to your financial status. If you feel superior when you have money, you will feel inferior when you do not. You must stay rooted in your values, not your valuations. The transformation you seek is not merely financial. It is holistic. Wealth in isolation is fragile. Build wealth of character, wealth of thought, wealth of purpose, wealth of relationships, wealth of experience. Money can enhance these, but cannot replace them. When you invest with wisdom, you begin to see the world differently. You realize that wealth is not about accumulation, but about alignment. Alignment between who you are, what you value, and how you live. Investing becomes an extension of your philosophy, not a gamble for survival. You begin to evaluate opportunities not only for profit, but for harmony. You stop chasing everything and start choosing what resonates. An investor's transformation is internal before it is external. Your mind expands. Your patience strengthens. Your awareness deepens. You learn to delay pleasure for position, to resist distraction for direction, to endure discomfort for evolution. You learn to detach from outcomes because you trust your process. You learn to see setbacks not as failures, but as tuition. Lessons that sharpen your strategy. Every investor pays tuition. The goal is to gain wisdom worth more than the cost. At some point in this journey, you will notice that your relationship with time has changed. You no longer rush decisions. You think in cycles, seasons, than horizons. You choose investments that align with longevity. You build portfolios that grow with you, not stress you. You value peace over excitement, clarity over confusion, and strategy over speed. You no longer seek fast money because you understand that fast money often leaves faster. As your investments grow, you will also grow into the responsibility that wealth demands. Money is a tool, but also a test. It tests your values, your discipline, your humility, your priorities. Will you use it to build or to boast? To uplift or to dominate? To expand life or to mask emptiness? Wealth reveals who you are. Prepare to meet yourself. The investor's journey is not linear. There will be seasons where everything aligns and seasons where uncertainty clouds your vision. This is normal. The difference between the wise and the average is not the absence of doubt, but the ability to act with clarity despite doubt. The wise investor knows that markets rise and fall. Opportunities appear and disappear. Circumstances shift and stabilize. Change is the only constant. Adaptation is the only strategy. Your goal is not to predict the future, but to prepare for it. Diversify not out of fear, but out of respect for uncertainty. Remain curious, because curiosity leads to insight. Stay humble, because overconfidence blinds. Protect the foundation you built while expanding thoughtfully. Growth without protection is recklessness. Protection without growth is stagnation. Balance both. As you transform, you will realize that wealth is not a destination, but a state of intentional living. A wealthy life is one where your finances support your purpose, not distract you from it, where your investments sustain your freedom, not inflate your ego, where your money reflects your values, not society's. The ultimate is in investment is in becoming someone who does not need to escape their life to feel fulfilled. There will come a moment when you look back and see the distance you have traveled, not in miles, but in mindset. You will see how far you have come from the version of yourself that lived in reaction, impulse, and financial uncertainty. You will see how discipline gave birth to stability, how stability allowed for growth, how growth opened doors, and how those doors led you to a life aligned with your deepest values. That life is not an accident, it is constructed. The path continues, but you are no longer walking blindly. You are walking with intention, clarity, and purpose. You have begun the second chapter. not of wealth accumulation, but of wealth expansion. And with every wise decision, you move closer to the life you are capable of living.